Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is Jerry the Boss here, coach of the Harrisburg Hitmonlees, and I'm back with some more Draft League content. I joined the IPL Open, which is a big draft tour that's ran by Automatic. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it. There's two T's in there somewhere, so it kind of confuses me. But you know, that's my problem, not yours. So, I'm just like a preface here. This is an 8-mon draft, so there's the 6 that you see on the screen for me and my opponent, and then 2 others. It was all Pokemon allowed, as if they were inserted into Gen 8. So there was no Megas, no Z-moves, no removed moves like Pursuit and Hidden Power, and no removed items. So how this works is we drafted our 8 mons with 16 other people in different draft pools, and then we were split up separately into other play pools of 6 teams each. And so I think it's 6. So I'll have 5 or 6, it may be 7, because I think I have 6 games total. But anyway, so there is the chance that I could play these teams again in the future in like the knockout rounds if I make it that far. The top 3 teams in each player pool, as well as the top 4 seeds, if that makes any sense. Kind of go a similar thing to the soccer table that I was talking about with the ASPL, but not exactly the same. But I'm not going to do a full team builder for 2 reasons. Try to shorten the video, for one, just because I feel like my Draft League videos for ASPL started getting kind of long. And is also because there is the chance that I can play these people again in knockout rounds. I think I already said that, actually, so I'm kind of repeating myself. But nonetheless, let me go over my team. And I actually wrote notes this time while I was building, so I actually have like reasons why stuff is the way it is. It just, you won't be able to see the specific EVs and things of that nature, because like I play a Zygarde here, as you can see, and then in a few weeks I play another Zygarde, so there's that too. So just things like that. Anyway, though. Before I start rambling, I had access to the 6 you see on the screen: Sigilyph, Delmines, Audino, Diancie, Zapdos, and Zygarde 10, as well as Heatran, and I lost it. How did I forget what's on my own team? This is terrible. Quillfish, yep. And my opponent had the 6 you see on the screen: Zygarde 50, Miltank, Chandelure, Rotom Wash, Scizor, Coalossal, Mesprit, as well as another that I don't have in front of me. I don't know, but I didn't expect it to come. So the 6 you see on the screen are what I expected, with the exception of Scizor for Mesprit. I expected the Mesprit to come. I may have the other mon on here. I may have prepped for it. Nope, didn't even prep for it, so obviously it wasn't important to me. Yeah, so anyway, let's kind of get a little rundown of my team. Sigilyph here, it's going to be the Flame Orb Magic Guard set with Psycho Shift. That was kind of common on Random Battle Ladder for a while, back in Gen 6 and 7. And I always thought it was cool. One of my friends told me that it looked heat in this matchup, so I was just like, hey, whatever. Because I decided in this draft league I was going to have a little more fun, because while the team I have is pretty devastating, it'd be more devastating either in like an 11-mon draft, which would be like longer, or with hidden powers, mainly because that Zapdos gets nerfed significantly without hidden powers. So, and there's no Hurricane. There's no DLC moves. I forgot to add that, so I'm glad I thought of that. So, I thought I'd go with a little more heat and not just like the most normal set, you might say. But anyway, so Sigilyph, back to the matter at hand. Sigilyph was the Psycho Shift Cosmic Power, and it was supposed to live 1 Outrage, from Zygarde, and it had a little bit of Spadef, so it was fairly bulky. But really its main goal was just to try to burn Zygarde. Audino was there for Chandelure, and Mesprit if it came, but I didn't really expect it to. Helped with Rotom Wash, kind of just a special sponge. I didn't have a special move, so I just ran Careful instead of Calm because of knockoff doing more damage. Diancie, similar to Audino, it's never 2-hit KO'd by Modest Spec, Shadow Ball, or I'm so tongue-tied. Flash Fire Boosted Fire Blast. So yeah, that's about as specific as I get. It 3-hit KO Sizzle Power Gem. So yeah. Zydog, his team had no Thousand Air. I will say ground immunity for 1,000 arrows. So I was just like, Zydog looks nice. It outsped everything on his team. I think his highest was 328 with Miltank. So it 2-hit KOs everything. Wait, no, I jumped down to the wrong. Oh, it was Clefairy. I did have the other Mon. His last Mon was Clefairy that he didn't bring. It 2-hit KOs everything for Clefairy, but I didn't have coverage for Clefairy because when I built that set, I was still bringing Heatran. So I guess that was kind of a misstep on my part, but I don't really think it came into play, and we'll both get to find out together, even though I only played this battle about a week ago. Zapdos was there just as it had really good offensive matchup because he didn't have a resist for electric either. He just had the immunity in Zygarde, which is fair. It's a really good one without hidden powers because, like I said, we don't have hidden powers. I was running Metal Sound and Twister, which I know is like beyond heat, but after a Metal Sound, we 2-hit KO'd with Twister, so that was just like my heat / tech for this battle, but it never came into play, I don't think, in this battle, just spoilers. So, Slife, if you watch this, that was my Zapdos set. Delmons, it was the last member I added over Heatran. I was there with enough bulk to live some Nasty Plot, Rotom Wash moves, and then a little speed to creep Colossal if it decided to creep me, and then I could also live some Zygarde hits, and then I had a little bit in attack as well. So very vague, I know, not like my normal team builder, but I thought it'd be best, just especially considering I have another matchup with Zygarde coming up, and I think this battle will go up before. Well, it might go up before we play, so I didn't want to give it away. Okay, so to the battle. I looked at my opponent. Oh, also we DC'd on turn 3, so we had to redo it, but it really didn't make a difference. But I was just going to throw that out there. I will have to say that I do appreciate Slife and the mod team for being patient because I was a little fussy that day. I was really just wanting to watch WrestleMania, so I do appreciate everybody for putting up with me. But anyway, battle. So let off with Zydog because, like I said, he didn't really have a good switch into it, so I was like, might as well take advantage of it. Right here, let off a Rotom, so I just clicked 1,000 arrows. There's no reason not to. It kills no bulk Rotom. So 42. I'm pretty sure that was like Spadef, which makes sense. Because I had Heatran, and Thick Fat Miltank is a really good switch in to Heatran, but it may have been Fizdef because it kind of surprised me. But anyway, he throws up rocks, which is fair. I switched into Diancie, not knowing what he wanted to do. I'm carrying Heal Bell on one of my mines. I think it's Diancie this week. But I thought this would be a good opportunity just to get my rocks up, and I do. So it switches out into Rotom Wash, and I go into Delmons because I was terrified of Rotom Wash after looking at it. But this was kind of, I played pretty poorly in this game, I would say. Looking at it, Autono or yeah, Autono would have been fine, just because I didn't know anything about the set, and it had regen, so it would allow me to regain some health and just kind of scout out what kind of set he was. Toxics me, which is no bueno because this is my best way to handle Zygarde, and then switches moves and goes for Volt Switch out in Colossal, but I knock it off. That's very fair. Here, I didn't really know what Colossal wanted to do. I know it's really bulky and has hazards and removal and things like that, but I just wasn't sure. I didn't want to take a fire move in the face, so I thought Diancie was just a solid switch because it seemed to be more bulky just from the knockoff damage, and I wasn't too scared of taking a heavy slam right here. So I thought Diancie was a very solid switch, okay, maybe I wanted to go into Diancie. But Zygarde 10% is a good switch too because it took advantage of the potential fire move and also threatened to KO back at the range he's at. It really put a lot of pressure on my opponent's team, so it makes sense. Throws up Hilarious Spikes, which does come into play, but I just KO the Colossal, which is nice. Get his own, or not his only hazard removal, but his more likely, in my opinion, hazard removal gone. So that's always nice. So switch out to Zapdos here because it's an amazing switch in to Scizor. I was really surprised that Scizor came because I thought Heatran plus Zapdos was the best combination I've ever seen to hard wall Scizor. But I mean, when you only have 8 mons, you got to make use of your best ones, right? So I understand it. Take a U-turn here, which I don't take well because it turns out he's adamant banned and I'm not bulky at all. But I decided to switch here into Diancie and take some damage. I think that was scarf damage on the Chandelure from the flamethrower. Again, I probably should have just went Autono. I don't know that it would have made a difference here, but Autono was just I didn't use Autono to its best potential here up to this point. So he switches out, obviously not wanting to lose his Chandelure. So I Heal Bell here, which I think it's a solid play to get rid of the poison on Delmons. Going in Autono here, take the big fat U-turn to the face. I have my Guava Berry popped, which is important for later, but for the time being, it allows me to gain back some health, and I'll be at a solid 80% when I come back in with regen after this. Well, I won't because of the hazards, but nonetheless, we'll take Miltank, take Stealth Rocks, and I predict something. I didn't know exactly what he's going to do, but I didn't really care if Miltank Seismic Tossed or just threw up a status or Milk Drinked or whatever. So I just took the opportunity to get rid of leftovers here. Those off a Toxic, which was probably a misplay, but I'm trying to wish out into my Delmons, which I successfully do here. I do take a Toxic, which is unfortunate to say the least, and I take this opportunity to knock off because I feel like he probably is aware that I'm trying to get rid of hazards due to how I willingly switched Delmons into a fairly obvious double Toxic situation. But not everybody would have made that double Toxic play. But Sloth seems to be a very, very talented battler at this point to me in my mind. So I knock off and kill Chandelure. It was Scarf, but it doesn't matter because it's dead now. Scizor comes out. Okay, so this is where I really started misplaying because honestly, I forgot what kind of coverage this Scizor got, but I looked it up and I saw that it got knockoff, and I guess it was either I was just tired and didn't care, or just didn't think you would click it for some reason. But I had a clear switch into Autono because, like I said, Autono is going to come in at about 80%, and I didn't even calc banded knockoff. It probably still would have done a lot, but it would have done less because I didn't have an item with my Guava Berry already being eaten. But while having said that, though, I could have doubled out accordingly. Like Diancie was right there to take a knockoff either way, or I could have predicted him to switch after that. You know, yada yada yada. I could have done anything else, but letting Delmines die here was not the play, and I think it ended up biting me in the butt later. But we'll have to get there and find out. So I go out into Zapdos here, just kind of on the ropes. I really wasn't sure what to do, so I just went out into Zapdos. I think I take this opportunity to roost. Okay, it does appear that way. In hindsight, I probably should have either twisted or metal sound, because I mean that's what I brought it for. You know, if nothing else, I should have flexed. If I was going to lose, I might as well have lost flexing. But I did have E-Speed on my Zygarde 10, so I mean I could have done some damage to it if it was like a setup variant with Dragon Dance or Coil. Well, I guess it wouldn't have done as much damage if it was a Coil set, but if it was a Coil set, then I could have more than likely Psycho shifted a burn from Sigilyph over to it. So here I am going to switch out into Sigilyph as best I remember. Yes, I do. Which is, again, like, just losing the Delmines really put me in a bad spot, but I really feel like I should have just metal sounded or twisted. So the not switching into Autono on the knockoff when I was fairly certain it was going to happen, and then not predicting the Zygarde, which I was also fairly certain was going to happen. You know, it's just not taking advantage of what I feel is fairly certain to happen. Music stop. What? No thanks. Okay, there we go. Alright, music's back. Check out Glitch City. I think it's Glitch. Yeah, okay. Ah, it's loading. That's the problem. Okay, sorry. The internet's bad. Hopefully, it'll load, though. Either way, the battle's close to over. As you can probably guess, it's not going to go well from here. Gets up another Dragon Dance, which is fair, but of course there's that Lomberry, so it's fairly over. The crit probably didn't matter. I'm not sure. I didn't care to calc it. After I saw the Lomberry, I pretty much gave up in my head. So either way, or I conceded is a better way to say it, because I felt like my opponent had it wrapped up fairly well. E-Speed did 30% though, so like I said, if I would have got off the Twister damage, because if he was not max HP, I believe it did close to 60, so, you know, if I would have, or I think 60 was like the min or something. Maybe it was the max. Maybe 55 was the max whenever it was max HP. But if it was no bulk, which I did not count, it would have been close. I don't know. But like I said, those two plays that I mentioned didn't help me any. But I also could have Cosmic Powered on the Sigilyph. I don't think it would have mattered, because I'm pretty sure I would have died to Outrage. Especially since it always would have been one stage higher than me. So I'm pretty certain I would have. Keep doing that. I'm pretty certain that I would have just died there. So, yep, that's gonna be it. Diancie's not gonna live, so that's just the way it is. But yeah, so GG to Slife. I think that's how you say it. If I said it wrong, just you can tell me in Discord or something. But yeah, so that's it. Like I said, play with Autono better, and then use my heat, basically, is what I would have rather done. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one. We'll see you next time. Peace.